Hello, my name is Jeremiah Miktek. I am your instructor for this course, and I want to begin by welcoming each of you to this course. Now, in a moment here, I'm going to talk to you about some of the assignments for this course and some of the expectations that I have for them. But before I get to that point, I want to begin by telling you a bit about myself, and particularly for an online course like this, I think it's important to take time out just to do that so that you understand that you're not being taught by some computer algorithm. I am a real person and I do care about each of your experiences in this course. So, to that end, I want to begin by sharing a little bit of my professional background with you. I have a BA and an MA in English from Kent State University. I've taught college level English courses since 2006, and I've been with Tara since 2013. My scholarly backgrounds include early American literature and biblical studies. On a personal level, when I have time, I enjoy reading for fun or going to the movies. I'm a big fan of Ohio State football and the Cleveland sports teams. Although, when it comes to the Cleveland sports teams, I'll be honest with you, I often wonder why I bothered being a fan of them since they tend to disappoint me more than anything else. And I also wanted to share with you that I'm currently finishing an online seminary program with the hope slash expectation of either becoming a church pastor or a chaplain. Now, the reason why I wanted to share this with each of you is to let you know that through that experience, I've gained an understanding that I hadn't had before about what it's like to be an online only student. You know, it's kind of interesting. Uh, I started teaching online courses overall in 2007. I had taught face to face courses for a couple semesters before that, but I'd been teaching online fairly steadily since 2007. But I didn't start my seminary program that I'm in until 2015. And when I became a student, an online student, I quickly realized that as a student, we see the content of a course page and a course in general quite differently than how an instructor sees it, and vice versa. It's one of those things that really works both ways. So I want to reassure you that through my experience as an online student, I know that courses like this can be confusing, they can be intimidating, and in some ways they can also be frightening. But I want to reassure you that if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling scared about any of the assignments or expectations that go along with this course, don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information is on the first page of our syllabus. Don't hesitate to use that information. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here to help you and I'm happy to do that. Okay? So I just want to reassure all of you. And purely, I don't think it's a big deal, but it's a big part of my life. So I wanted to go ahead and share with all of you that I was born 2.5 months premature, and because of that, I developed a neurological disorder called cerebral palsy. Some of you may know other people with cerebral palsy, perhaps in your family or whatnot. But long story short, I just have muscle spasticity and no sense of balance. So as a result of that, I can't walk and I'm in a wheelchair. But anyway, just wanted wanted to share that with you, just to let you know again a little bit about who I am as a person. Now that you've learned a bit about me, I want to talk with you about some of the assignments for this course, and just in a broad sort of general um, kind of way so that you'll know what to expect. So first, there are basically three kinds of assignment categories in this course. There are quizzes, which I guess we could kind of consider the course preparedness test that you had to do at the end of the first week, a quiz. I don't know. It's not really much of a quiz. You'll see when you take it, but whatever as far as that goes. Then there's the discussions and your essays. So let me begin then by saying a little bit about the quizzes and the course preparedness test. Now, even though I just said to you there's really not much to the course preparedness test, and realistically there's not. There's two very simple questions, but for financial aid reasons and sort of administrative reasons, you need to complete that course by the end of Saturday of week one of the course. Otherwise, in accordance with Tara's first week attendance policy for online courses like this, I have no option other than to have you drop from the course. So for that reason alone, um, it's very important that you complete that um, assignment. And I will say that part of the course preparation for the first week, beyond taking that very brief quiz, is to simply learn the layout of the course page and learn our syllabus. I really want all of you to have a good understanding of those concepts before we really get the course running in the second week. That's precisely why I give you the first week just to learn the syllabus and to learn where to find things, on the course page. So use that opportunity wisely, because if you're still looking to find things just where they're located on the course page in the second week, third week, what have you, unfortunately, at that point, it won't take much for you to fall behind on the course, which is something that you do not want to do. The other quizzes that you complete through the course are um, four quizzes, 10 points each. They vary in length and content. The big thing with them is to make sure you've thoroughly read and studied the chapters from our main textbook before you go to take each of those quizzes. If you've done those things, in spite of the fact that they are timed, you can only take them once and you can't take them after the deadline has expired. In spite of those restrictions, if you've read and studied the the content of the chapters that each of the quizzes will cover, I have every reason to believe that you will do well on them. So, there's no reason for you to feel sort of preemptively intimidated by them. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about the discussions and the essays. I try to keep my expectations for the discussions as straightforward as possible. You're expected to do 2 posts per discussion assignment. One post will be your personal post unless otherwise directed by me in an announcement or the directions for that assignment. Your personal post should be at least 200 words, and then your other post will be a reply to a classmate, which should be at least 100 words. You should complete posts on at least 2 different days during the week when a discussion is assigned. And then finally, I want to let you know a little bit about my role in the discussions. I will observe the discussions. I will keep tabs on what you're saying to one another both throughout the week and when I grade your discussion post, but I will not directly interact with them. The reason for that is essentially I'm teaching a total of 3 courses, and I'm also taking 3 courses, and because I am not a computer program or algorithm, I cannot, participate in the discussions and grade things in a timely manner. I have to make allowances for myself, quite frankly, somewhere. And one of the ways that, regrettably, I have to cut back when I have as heavy of a load as I do this semester is that I cannot uh, directly participate in the discussions. Now, having been said, if you find that you're having problems with the discussions, you're more than welcome to contact me either after you get any kind of feedback from me on your discussion post or during the week that an assignment is due before you make the post, and you're welcome to send me like an email or a message through our course page and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about posting for our assignment this week. How does it look to you? And if you do that, I'm more than happy to give you advice on things that look good or areas that you might need to improve upon before you actually make that post. But again, one of the boundaries that I have to draw for myself when I have the type of schedule that I will this semester is that I simply don't have time to participate in the discussions. Now, the essays, more importantly, you'll have to complete 3 essays in this course. They vary in length and expectation. Don't want to say a whole lot about them now. There's more documentation about those provided on our course page. So do look at the assignment descriptions that are provided for you, but be aware that they account for the bulk of your grade in this course. Now, let's say hypothetically that you do your essays and you're not thrilled about the grades that you get on your final draft. Believe me, we've all been there, where we do an assignment and maybe we thought we did really well, but then we get the grade back and it's like, yeah, kind of missed the boat on that one. So, don't feel bad. We've all been there. We've all had that happen. But I want to reassure you that as long as you turn your final drafts in on time for this course, you can submit a revised version, one revised draft of each of your essays in this course, and on that revised draft, you can get up to 1 letter grade higher. So understand that if you get a grade that you're not satisfied with on the final draft, That grade isn't etched in stone, to use a cliche. It can be changed, it can be improved up to one letter grade more. So again, there's no need to panic, if you will. And now, last but not least, I want to give you some general tips for success in this course. Tip number one, read with the twos. And let me take a minute to unpack that somewhat ambiguous statement. When you read with the twos, what I mean by that, first of all, is I realize that all of you are limited for your time, but when we have a reading assignment, try to read that content twice. Or if we have a video that I want you to watch as part of one of the discussions, try to watch it twice. I promise you, you will understand that content much better the second time around. All of us, no matter how smart we are, will understand things better if we go over it just one more time. Okay? So that's the first part of that. The second part is to read with both of your eyes engaged with that text. Sometimes if we're honest, when we're reading something for school or when we're supposed to be watching a video, perhaps we're kind of doing that. We've got like one eye on the page or one eye on the screen, and then we're maybe watching our favorite TV show, maybe watching a football game on the TV. But if we're really gonna take that content in and be able to apply it for toward the assignments in this course, you really need to have both of your eyes fixed on the text. And then the final part of reading with the twos is you really want to be engaged with the text. As much as you can, don't be afraid to take notes about the text. Whether it's in your own notebook or jotting down notes in the textbook when you're asked to read something in print. If you take notes on the text, if you highlight things, if you draw arrows saying, hey, this concept here is important, especially for the quizzes, having those reminders there on the text for you is going to make those assignments so much easier for you. Now, the important point number two, do your best to stay on schedule in this course. Keep up with the assignments. If you know you have something ahead of time that's coming up, maybe a trip away for school for those of you who are in high school or something of that nature. If you know you have something on the horizon, and that's coming up for your personal schedule that you know might knock you a bit behind, try to work a bit ahead. Now, I realize that, we're all busy people. Some of you probably have full time jobs. Some of you probably have kids that you had to take care of. So I understand that it's not always going to be possible to work ahead when those obstacles approach. But going to my last point here, if you're struggling in this course for any reason, just contact me in a timely manner for help. That's all I ask. If you wait till 10 minutes before an assignment is due to send me an email and say, hey, Mr. Took, or most people just call me Mr. M, and that's usually the way that I'm going to address myself to each of you in my responses to your work. If you wait till 10 minutes before the assignment is due, Quite frankly, even though I want to help you still, at that point there won't be much I can do to help you. So, please, if you're struggling, if you need more help, maybe need a little more time on an assignment, as long as you contact me in a timely manner, I'll, I'm more than happy to listen to those requests. And if I feel that there's a very good reason to grant an extension on one of your essays, I'll be happy to do that. Now, just to be clear, if the situation warrants it, I will grant individual extensions on the essay deadlines, but I will not grant extensions on either your discussion work or the quizzes. Frankly, if you don't get those done on time, just be prepared to move along and forget about them. But again, if you need more time on the essays because they account for most of your grade, I'm more than willing to listen to whatever the issue is. And if I agree with you that it's a valid reason for you to have more time, I'll be more than happy to work with each of you in that regard. So that kind of wraps it up. But again, my contact info is on the first page of the syllabus. Contact me through Canvas, email me, text me, you can call me. If you need to get a quick response from me, best way to go is to text me. Okay? So, have a good course, folks. I look forward to interacting with you through emails and your essays and all that stuff. And again, if you ever need help, just let me know. Till next time, folks, take care and let's have a great course. Bye.